Welcome to another episode of the Top 20 channel. Today we'll be counting down the top 20 greatest bodybuilders of all time. We're going to do it a little bit different. It's going to be a tier list format, make it a little bit more exciting, make it a little bit more suspenseful as to what's coming next. So let's get straight into it. Number 20, we have Mike Mentzer. This guy's actually my personal favorite bodybuilder. I actually train with his style. He uses a heavy duty training style where he does one set per exercise. Now, you might be thinking only one set, but he goes to complete failure. He goes positive reps failure, then he actually holds a static hold for a couple of seconds. I think it was 6 or 7 seconds. And then he will actually have the spotter help him do negative reps so that his muscle is exhausted within that one set and he just moves on to the next exercise. And he also emphasized a lot on rest times. He would actually take 3 or 4 days in between his training sessions. And he famously said that he didn't train for more than 2 hours every week. And he was able to win the 1979 Mr. Universe heavyweight win. And also famously believing that he got robbed in the 1980 Mr. Olympia because Arnold came back, and Mike Mentzer was so bitter about that loss that he kind of retired from bodybuilding, gave up on bodybuilding, turned in towards, drinking, I think drugs as well, and unfortunately died at a very young age. But still, his legacy lives on with his training methods and his philosophy, which is why he's coming in strong at number 20. Number 19. Now, the next person that we're going to have on the list is none other than Tom Platz. Now, I love Tom Platz. This guy is so motivational. The stories that he tells is so engaging. But the nickname that we have for Tom Platz, it's so famous. It's Quadfather. And he's probably got the biggest legs we've ever seen in bodybuilding. His quads were absolutely massive and he's got incredible leg strength. Very similar to Mike Mentzer, he'll go very, very intense with his training methods. But he would do 30 reps on squats, apparently, until complete death. And he said he only really squatted maybe once or twice a month. But that heavy intensity, that's what really grew his legs. And even though, just like Mike Mentzer, he actually never won the Mr. Olympia title, he is known as one of the greatest bodybuilders to never win one. So, really, really exciting. Really happy to have Tom Platz at number 19. Number 18, I've got Big Ramy. He rose to prominence due to his massive size and proportions. He actually won the Mr. Olympia in 2020 and solidified his place in history. He had colossal muscle mass while still maintaining quite good aesthetics. And his breakthrough victory really defined the possibilities of modern bodybuilding and emphasized the pursuit of monumental size without actually sacrificing symmetry. Number 17, let's see who we have here. We have Kevin Levrone. He has exceptional symmetry and stage charisma, and his shoulders, absolutely ridiculous. He's won numerous titles, and it's only unfortunate that he was in the same era as Ronnie Coleman. He's won the Arnold Classic 4 times, I believe, and he's just so consistent in high-level competitions. It's actually really funny. People consider Kevin Levrone to be one of the people that is hyper-responsive to steroids, as in his off-season, he looks like just an average bloke that maybe trains, once in a while, and then as soon as he hops on gear, he balloons up and looks absolutely incredible. So Kevin Levrone, number 17. Number 16, it's actually Chris Dickerson. He's the first African-American Mr. America and Mr. Olympia winner. And he was celebrated for both elegance and artistry on stage. I mean, he had these refined posing routines. He had impeccable symmetry, graceful physique. So it marked him as an ambassador of a true aesthetic bodybuilder. And he showcased the beauty and grace that is often missed within bodybuilding. Number 15 is Flex Wheeler. Very similar to Kevin Levrone, kind of existed in the same era as Ronnie Coleman. And Flex Wheeler is really known for his aesthetics, just like Chris Dickerson, but maybe even more. He had these crazy proportions and muscle bellies. He won the Arnold Classic 4 times. He had size, symmetry, but the difference was, again, the keyword, aesthetics, right? He was able to craft a balanced, aesthetically pleasing physique, which made him an inspiration for future bodybuilders. So Flex Wheeler, number 15. The next bodybuilder I have here is Samir Bannout. He was really, really charismatic and a really, really nice guy. I actually remember watching an interview he was doing about Mike Mentzer and Arnold Schwarzenegger's backstage feud. And just listening to Samir, you can just hear how humble he is. So on top of that, he did win the Mr. Olympia title in 1983. I mean, they gave him the nickname the Lion of Lebanon. I mean, you can't get better than that. He had emotions, he had dedication when he was showcasing his physique. And so he was very, very memorable in the bodybuilding space. At number 13, it's Dexter Jackson, also known as The Blade. He actually earned an impressive 29 professional titles during his career, which was absolutely insane. He won the Mr. Olympia title in 2008, showcasing not just his remarkable physique, but also his consistency and adaptability across different competitions. And he's known for being a very versatile and enduring athlete, which is why Dexter Jackson's coming in number 13. Now, going back in time a little bit now, number 12, we're going to have Larry Scott, the actual first ever inaugural Mr. Olympia winner. I mean, he had these insane forearms and biceps. He looked like Guile from Street Fighter, winning the Olympia title first time ever, 1965, 1966, basically solidifying himself as a pioneer of the sport and setting the stage for the prestigious competition that followed and everyone behind him. So Larry Scott, definitely a legend. And for number 11, we're actually even going to go back in time even more. Someone that wasn't even part of the Mr. Olympia, but Eugene Sandow. I mean, he's known as the father of modern bodybuilding and was celebrated for his contributions to physical culture itself. They named him the world's most perfectly developed man. And he actually popularized bodybuilding as an art form. I mean, back in those days, there weren't steroids or anything like that. So what you see with Eugene Sandow is basically the peak of natural bodybuilding. Number 10 is the man known as the Myth, Sergio Oliva. Let's put him right into here. He was celebrated for his unparalleled genetics and dominance on the bodybuilding stage. He won the Mr. Olympia title from 1967, 1968, and 1969. And you know who came next? It was Arnold. So this guy was crazy. He had unmatched muscle density and vascularity and basically set the new standards for how muscular you should be within the sport. Number 9 is Franco Columbu. Franco Columbu's legacy lies in his incredible strength and versatility. He was actually also a boxer. We've seen it before. He's competed in strongman competitions. I mean, he was Arnold's best friend. He won the Mr. Olympia in 1967 and 1981. And not just showcasing his physique, but also his incredible determination and adaptability in the sport. When you just look at his body, you can see how firm and strong he is. And so he's coming in at number 9. Number 8, in my opinion, is the most aesthetic physique of all time. So sorry, Mario Rios, but Leon Edwards is nowhere near the level of this man. It is Frank Zane. He won the Mr. Olympia title 3 times. And he had immaculate proportions. And basically, it looked like he was sculpted. His victories in 1977, 1978, and 1979 for the Mr. Olympia showcase his dedication to aesthetics, not just focusing on size, which is what so many people were focusing on back in the day, and setting a new standard for bodybuilding. Number 7 is Chris Bumstead. This guy captured the Mr. Olympia Classic physique numerous times and is still going strong. I mean, he just recently got a new hair transplant and he's looking pretty good. His victories revived the golden era aesthetics, and the difference is he has the legs that those bodybuilders didn't have in the 70s. People put a picture of Arnold next to Chris Bumstead. People always say, well, Arnold's got the chest, Arnold's got the biceps, but Chris Bumstead, he's got the back, he's got the shoulders, and he's got the legs, which is a huge difference. And, you know, his physique showcases a blend of classic lines, proportions, and grace, which is rarely seen now in contemporary competitions. Coming in number 6 is Jay Cutler. Man, this guy is still going strong as well. I know he's retired, but he's still very much involved within bodybuilding. He won the Mr. Olympia 4 times during Ronnie Coleman's era. Like, that's insane. He's a force to be reckoned with. 2006, 2007, 2009, and then coming back again, 2010. Highlighted his incredible mass, symmetry, and consistency on the Olympia stage. So, massive legend, Jay Cutler. Coming in at number 5 is Phil Heath, also known as The Gift. Now, a lot of people don't like him, and I personally think it's because he was just so dominant and just such a Mr. Clean looking guy, so people were just jealous, I guess. I mean, he had 7 Mr. Olympia title wins, all the way from 2011 to 2017. He had remarkable muscle bellies, fullness, and unwavering dedication to pushing the boundaries of muscularity and aesthetics. And it was really interesting. So when Ronnie Coleman was giving an interview, I think with Patrick Bet-David, about modern day or contemporary bodybuilders, Ronnie Coleman was kind of laughing at every other competitor. But as soon as it came to Phil Heath, you can see his expression change. He knew Phil Heath was a serious competitor. So number 5 for sure. Number 4, it is an 8-time Mr. Olympia winner. It is Lee Haney. This guy's actually really underrated. I guess he's just not as famous as the others, but people that know bodybuilding knows Lee Haney. He defined an era with his symmetrical physique, and he was a gentleman. He had a gentlemanly demeanor. His reign from 1984 to 1991 displayed an incredible balance of size, proportion, and grace, earning him a place as among one of the most decorated bodybuilders of all time. And very similar to Samir when I listened to, his interviews. Just such a good guy. So number 4. Number 3 is Dorian Yates. I mean, this guy was absolutely insane. The Shadow. He revolutionized bodybuilding with his blood and guts training style. He actually took Mike Mentz's training philosophy and adapted to his own. He famously only did 1 set per exercise, and if you watch some of those clips, he looked like he was literally killing himself to get that last rep in. So he would scream, he would shout. It was terrifying. He won 6 Mr. Olympia titles from 1992 and 1997 and showcased unprecedented mass. He was the first mass monster on top of crazy conditioning. If you looked at his face, you can see that it was so thin that it looked like there was no water left within the body. He was that dedicated. And he basically ushered in a new era of hardcore training and dominance. So number 3, Dorian Yates, absolute beast. Now for the top 2, I mean, it's not really a surprise as to who is in the top 2, but I really had to think, who was I going to put at the top spot? And so for number 2, I'm going to have to give it to Ronnie Coleman. He won the Mr. Olympia 8 times, just like Lee Haney, and he remains a symbol of unparalleled size and conditioning within bodybuilding. He looked like Thanos. He was next level. He looked like a comic book character. He won the Olympia 1998 and all the way up to 2005, setting a benchmark for mass monsters, illustrating exceptional level of muscular development rarely witnessed before. And the difference between Ronnie Coleman and a lot of other bodybuilders is that he was really, really strong as well. He still sets records that no one else has seen before. I mean, his deadlifts, his squats, the way he screams, "Yeah, buddy," absolutely crazy. So number 2, Ronnie Coleman. This guy literally gave his health for the sport. Nothing but respect. And finally, at number 1, it is no surprise at all. Topping the list is Arnold Schwarzenegger, a 7-time Mr. Olympia winner whose impact transcended bodybuilding. His wins from 1970 to 1975 was absolute dominance. And then he came back in 1980, which was a little bit controversial, but still, when you see him on that stage, he just looked like a sculpture. It was insane. He had an incredible chest, incredible biceps, crazy calf development, and overall just was really charismatic, to the point where the director of Pumping Iron decided, let's put him as the main character because he is just such a star. Progressing, towards being an actor and being a Terminator, then being a governor. This guy was just an all-rounder and just a complete amazing inspiration to everyone. Thank you for watching this top 20 video. It is the first time we tried this tier list format, so if you do enjoy it, please leave a like, and if you disagree with any of our selections, feel free to comment below. Thank you very much.